Alright guys, such Kremp again today. Hope you're doing good and enjoying your day so far. The CDL analysis drama continues after Kenny and Simp got into it heavily with Burrito over the last few days. Now the rest of the community has hopped on the bandwagon as well. The OpTic guys watching some OpTic versus FaZe analysis from earlier this year, and Shotzzy reckons that this guy is absolutely braindead. Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Just wanted to start here. This is COD Mobile. Now we don't talk about COD Mobile much. Obviously we're not diving into the weeds of this on the channel. But I did just want to share this clip real quick because look how spectacular this looks. Okay, we've got 480 pixels here now, and they're playing Hardpoint on Hacienda. But the map pool that they play in COD Mobile is actually insane. They have like all the best maps in COD history and they rotate them in a great fashion. And this guy dropped a nuke. Now, we've not really seen this. If you guys remember, Karma went on famously, was it a 28 kill streak on Yemen Hardpoint way back in Black Ops 2. We've had another couple of guys that have got kind of close over the years. But he actually got a nuke and was able to call it in because let's say in Black Ops 2, if Karma did get to 30 in a row and went nuclear, you don't get a nuke, right, to call in on that game, whereas other games you do. So, yeah, this guy got to, I'm guessing it was 25, I'm not actually sure what it is on COD Mobile, calls in the nuke. I thought it was going to end the game, it actually didn't, it just killed the other team. The guy's mega hype, by the way, you guys can see him on the right-hand side, like this guy's absolutely gassed. So, it's a really cool esport, right, and it's a shame, because on some respects, competitive COD should be about COD, as in multiplayer COD, the way it was traditionally played, but in many respects, we get overshadowed all of the time. And maybe in the long term, that's a good thing because we can make the game better in some respects. Obviously, they've got all these guns and the camos and everything that look insane. And the stuff that they're doing in COD Mobile is genuinely just better a lot of the time than what we have in actual PC/console COD multiplayer. And I think there might be a thing or two we can actually learn and take away from this scene. We also have the lightning strike back in, according to Ghost of Hope. So this have honestly been in the game before. And sometimes it's been not played because there's issues with the ping. Obviously, famously, you call in a lightning strike, it shows you, it gives you like a UAV ping of where the other team is. And if you know, back in the day, you could just use it every round, not call it in and get a free ping every round, which was, you know, a little bit cheese. So at times over the last few years, we have reduced the number of streaks that we have and that we use. And I wonder if we'll ever go back to actually using 3 kill streaks. Back in the day, that's how it used to be. I mean, in games like BO2, you would be using potentially RCXD, but usually you wouldn't use that apart from Search and Destroy, but you would go Lightning, Hellstorm, and then Stealth Chopper, right? And people would be calling in the Stealth Chopper for 1100, and, I mean, I used to have a class on in BO2, which was an LMG, like the LSAT or something, with FMJ on, and I'd just stand there with cold blood, and I'd just stand there and shoot down the stealth chopper. Like, that used to be part of the game, is that if the guy on the other team got a stealth chopper and called it in, you know, I'd switch to my LMG class and shoot the thing down. Obviously, you can use rockets as well, but it was more efficient to use, whatever, I'm not going to get into it, but the point is that the game's changed a lot, right? Back in the day, those streaks used to be fine. Nowadays, that's not, you know, a thing that we do, right? Nobody's calling in much. Now, Hellstorms are still a thing, but I do wonder if we're going to go back to a world where we do have all of those. I mean, you know, people used to call in the Cerberus, if you guys remember that, the rocket thing that would drive around on the ground, the little Wally robot or whatever, and it would shoot missiles and shoot guns and all this. And, you know, again, it was the same type of story. If you wanted to get rid of the thing, you'd be tossing EMP grenades and all that to disable it and get it destroyed. It used to be part of the game. Nowadays, we don't really have any of that. There's no specialists, obviously, nowadays, but also streaks to the same degree. It's just boring streaks like the Hellstorm. And yeah, you can shoot it out of the sky, which is kind of nice. But it would be nice, I think, to see a little bit more of that returning because, again, it adds a bit of a skill gap and something else going on the map. You might not agree with Sharp's perspective yesterday, but I think in some respects he kind of knows what he's getting at. There was a bit of drama as well about whether Pick 10 is going to come back. It is a concern of mine, and I've said it before, that the lack of weapon variety in the COD games is formed to some degree by just the way that the gunsmith has been built over the last few years. The fact that you can make your gun however you like, so people just choose the best AR and they give it all the attachments to give it their preferences, whereas before you would have to choose whether you wanted an HVK or, you know, a man of war, depending on your preferences. Now you can kind of do both with the same gun. Now, Pick 10 is kind of separate to that, but it's still relevant, as we know, because you used to have the attachments as part of Pick 10 when it was introduced in BO2. Treyarch say they're not convinced it's better than what we currently have. Now, the theory around this goes that apparently Pick 10 is like complicated and takes effort. You've got to like build a class, and then you've got to use the perk greeds if you want to have 2 from perk 2. Look, I don't think it's exactly rocket science. Greg Reisdorf, who used to be a top dog over at Call of Duty before, he left, he thinks this is kind of funny, right? So, yeah, and see where that goes anywhere. Given there are some similarities with the new Black Ops game coming out and what happened back in the day, and everyone's playing BO3 right now, there has been talk about ban and protect, and JP says that a no-race ban and protect for weapons or field upgrades or basically creating our own pro pick 10 system, if we could enforce it, would do wonders for the diversity of the game. And I think that everyone who watched BO3, even if you liked the game or not, appreciated the variety that we would see unfold in professional matches. And part of it was just because, a large part of it was just because the balance was that good that you could use a ton of ARs, but also ban and protect was a thing. Just to quickly break this down, the teams would race, basically, in a selection menu to either ban or protect certain items. Now, you could ban and protect like everything in here. There were some things that were auto bans, and it got a bit cheesy because pretty much most ban and protect systems were just getting rid of things that were GA'd, but that hadn't been officially banned. So high caliber, rapid fire, they would always get rid of stun grenades and flash grenades and stuff like this. They would just remove all those things. And there were really, every pick ban setup, there was only like 2 things that would be banned that would be unique. Someone would get rid of Heatwave maybe, someone would get rid of, I don't know, an M8A7, right? It was possible to ban a weapon back then. Now, I think some things are a bit cheese. For example, you could ban Dead Silence, you could ban Afterburner, you could ban Blast Suppressor, and the game would play fundamentally different if you did that. Like if you went to Search and Destroy and you banned Dead Silence, the game is going to play different naturally. If you ban Blast Suppressor, the same kind of story. So, in my opinion, the ban and protect system should be brought to a smaller subsection, as in, it still exists. I would like to have it back, but I think JP's idea of no race, and I don't even think we need to protect. I think it should just be each team gets 2 bans, or maybe each team gets 1 ban, I don't know. They get to ban 1 gun, and they get to ban 1 specialist or something. And that's just how it is. You ban those 2, and then you can pick from the rest what you want to use. And it forces some variety, right? My team, if I'm playing a top team, I can ban the Aims, I can ban the Jackal or whatever. I can get those guns out of here, and they have to use some alternatives. So it shows the pros have to be more diverse in what they do, but also some teams will like to play with certain weapons. And I don't know, I think it would be an interesting addition back into the game, but I think we can do a better job of it than what BO3 did, as good as that game is. Now, a few other bits of drama. Octane was talking about the LG being sold because, as we know, Octane had a lot of success for that organization. They became part of Surge. Now they've been sold off for about $650,000. And as Octane says, damn, you sold the whole damn organization for less than you could have got for Pred back at MW2 if you had decided to sell him back then. But the other drama was on this gameplay analysis stuff that's been happening over the last few days. So, look, I'm pretty confident here that Burrito, he's playing his part of the wager, right? Like, he knows that he's causing a bit of drama here, he's doubling down on it, and look, it makes for entertaining content. I'm not gonna complain. Whatever you think about the guy, and also the pro players just generally aren't very good at taking criticism. Certainly, there's all this appeal to authority. Oh, Benjay, you didn't play, what do you know, right? Like, this happens all the time, and I totally understand it from a pro player perspective. But a lot of the fans will look at it and say, well, maybe Benjay had a fair point there, right? And you've just clowned him because he wasn't a pro. Or in Burrito's case, maybe he does make an interesting point on something, even if he's not necessarily been there and done it at the highest level. But as we know, the pros have been getting into this, and they found it rather entertaining over the last few days. To be fair, as have I. So Kenny was getting into it, Simp was getting into it, and they're responding to this guy. And then, well, Burrito's obviously continued his rampage, hasn't he, right? So the #1 CDL ESPN analyst has doubled down. He's obviously done loads of streams over the last few days. And Shotzzy and some of the OpTic guys were watching this one, some gameplay between OpTic and FaZe on a red card hardpoint, and saying that, well, lots of the stuff that he's talking about is pure hindsight cheese, and he doesn't really know what he's yapping about.
We talk about how awful this org is, by the way. You're telling me that you sold your entire organization, everything under the umbrella of luminosity. You sold the whole shit for less than Pred's buyout offer in MW2. The whole shit, the whole kit and caboodle, the entire brand of Luminosity Organization Gaming is less total than MC's buyout offer in MW2. They're denying my buyout offer the year prior. Or 2 years prior at that point. What the fuck? What are these cats doing, bro? I bankrupted them. Shit, maybe. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm an asshole.
He's roaming around here. He checks inside. He even checks P1 after Huke just popped kills down there. That would be the last place I'm looking. Like, why would there be another guy all the way down there? 10 seconds in a P3. Like, it's not like it's like just the beginning. Like, this is like,
so
they're gone,
Ate
bro.
for like an ear for a
they are
second.
gone.
Wait, why did he think that not a third guy could be there or something? Why did
Well,
he
he
say
also
that?
just said one of them could have rotated all the way around to the back. Who the fuck rotates to the back of the garage?
Honestly, I could probably only count on my fingers.
You don't. You lay just spawn there because nobody's gonna block that.
Where the fuck did they even rotate through? Bro, it's just hindsight. It's just hindsight, bro. Like.
Rotation.
Wait, what do you say?
One's here. One shot on this side. No way. That's him.
He's not.
Wow, he wasn't one shot. I hit him.
I had both of them weak,
bro.
Dude, we gotta start staying up, bro.
I got one bursting from bunker to window, so I can That's not bad, dude. You're fine. Sweet stuff. One run at a time. Looks up on your gun.
There you go.
So I wonder if this is set to continue. I'm sure that Burrito's already cooking up the stream responding to what Shotzzy and that had to say about it. Maybe he's going to bring up Burrito 3, Shotzzy nil or whatever, and we're going to keep on rolling. But yeah, look, we'll see. It's added some pretty fun entertainment to the community over the last few days, and we'll see where it goes from here, if anywhere. The final thing I wanted to say is highest grand final series KD in every season since Ghost. So if you look at all the grand finals in a particular season, and you take the highest individual performer in all of those grand finals total, this is what you'll find. The record here still belongs to Formal from back in Ghost with a 1.98. I'm not sure that was Gfinity 3. It might well have been some other. I mean, it's pretty interesting, right? The numbers usually are in the 1.4s or above. Kremp and Infinite Warfare, I think that was at ESWC as it was known back then, the French event in Paris. They beat FaZe in the finals. But usually you're seeing numbers in the 1.4s, 1.5s for the highest KD of the season. Vanguard was a surprising one with only a 1.24, was the highest KD that anyone achieved in any grand finals that year. Insight's been on it twice with a 1.44 in Cold War, 1.42 in Modern Warfare 3, and sell out a 1.7 in a grand finals this year where FaZe smoked Surge. I'm assuming it's that one anyway, but very much enjoyed your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Y'all are so lucky you didn't have to play me at champs.
Winning in front of
Yo, what? Yo, wait, is Riley dying? Yo, why is Riley laughing like that? Bro, chill, Riley. Riley thought that shit was comedy. Yeah, Riley actually died.